If you're like the tens of thousands of real estate agents, maybe even hundreds of thousands of real estate agents that are driving and generating online leads every single day and struggling to convert, then this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through 3 really simple tactics that you can put into play right now to 4x your lead conversion without spending any more money, doing something a little bit different and changing the actions that you do. So I've got this cool little doc that I will uncover each one of these one by one. Here's what I know to be true. I don't have the number. I should have brought this up before the YouTube video. That there were something like, 1.1 million transactions last year in the United States and like something like 4.7 million, leads given out or some crazy number, which means not all leads convert. We know that. And leads don't convert at 25%. In fact, the best producing agents that I partner with and coach are somewhere between that 1.5 to 6% range, depending on the lead source. And I want to help you get to that number as well. 1.5 to 6% doesn't sound like a very high conversion rate, but that is lead registration to actual closing in a given amount of time. And here's the good news. We don't need any fancy automation tools. You don't need crazy expensive CRMs. You don't need a phone system, and all that stuff will help, to be clear. But to get started and to get from wherever you're at right now to 1.5 to 6% conversion, there's just a couple things that you need to do a little bit different. And I'm going to share those with you right now. So number one, the first thing that I wrote down was increase the number of times you follow up. One thing that you're going to realize we're not going to talk about in today's video is scripting, right? Because there's a million different scripts out there. I'm sure you've heard all of them. Most of the time, it is not the script that is causing you to convert more or convert less. It is the number of times you use the script. In fact, you could call 1,000 people today and say, hey, my name is Steve Olson. I'm a real estate agent here in San Diego, California. And I'm just calling really quick to find out if you guys are in the market for a home. Not a very emotional script, not a very scarcity or competition or any of that driven script, but a script with a clear question creates safety for somebody to answer, right? So if we have simple language on these calls, you'll be surprised at what people say. So even if you said, hey, my name's Steve Olson, I'm a real estate agent, would you like to buy a home? Again, not a very emotional script, but said enough times, you will get conversion. What's the amount of times that I would follow up? Well, the numbers are all over the place. It's different for everybody. It's different in every single market. But here's a really simple cadence I would commit to right now. If we're going to do email, text, and phone, there should be a total of 3 to 5 outreaches on day 1. Same for day 2. Take that down to 3 on days 3, 4, and 5. 2 on 6 and 7. And then 1 on 8, 9, and 10. If you can commit to that follow-up schedule and not get emotional or have an opinion around why somebody isn't answering your text, why somebody isn't replying to the email, why do they never answer my call? Remove the emotion to follow up, increase the amount of times you follow up, and I think what you're going to find is people will be more receptive to you as a real estate agent. All right, here's the number 2 thing. Do all follow-up manually. Now, this is weird coming from like the CRM and the marketing automation guy. Like, why would you do all this stuff manually? I would do it all manually for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you over-engineer automation, you tend to get lost with where all the clients are. And so what happens is we build out these huge, fancy automations, and then the automations kind of go. Some of them work, some of them don't. And then you start looking at the CRM and you're like, oh, well, what automation's this client in or that client's in or this, it gets really, really, really confusing. So my suggestion to you, and we're going to talk about this here in a second, is do everything manually and have a specific set of templates and processes built out either in your CRM and Notion and Google Docs, wherever you organize yourself. I would build all of that stuff out and then just run that as a playbook every single day. Number 3, use video for unique follow-up. Now, you guys have probably seen on social, like, we tried video follow-up, it doesn't work. And I'm here to tell you, it 100% works. You want to know why it does work? Because you're watching video right now. The problem with video and agents that use video and it doesn't work is they're just using video as a very generic follow-up tool. It's like nobody's going to have any level of emotional connectivity or emotional connectedness. Is that the right word I'm looking for? To a video of you with your phone saying, hey, it's Steve Olson. I didn't hear back the other day. Just checking in. How's everything going? Still looking for a home? Boom. Title, send, go. And they look at the video and you're like, oh, they looked at the video because maybe you're using like Hippo Video or Loom or Vidyard or any of those tools. And you're like, they watched the whole video, but they didn't respond. They must not be a buyer. And chances are the reason why they didn't respond is not because they are or are not a buyer. It's because you didn't give them a reason to engage with you, right? So a better script to use with that type of video would be something to the effect of, hey, I was doing some research for a client today. They're looking for a home at about $1.7 million, 4 bedrooms with a pool with a primary bedroom downstairs. And I thought of the conversation that you and I had, and in doing research for them, I saw too that you may be interested in looking at. I'm curious, are you guys still planning on making a move in the next 90 to 140 days, 120 days, 180 days, whatever you want to say? I'd love to send these to you. Let me know. Just comment below this video or reply to this email. And I'd love to send them to you if you're still in the market. All right. Hope you've been well. Talk soon. So we're making these videos as we go. Now, the only way that you can create these videos, the only way that you can stay on top of this is if we have some level of a CRM or a database in front of you all day, every single day, with everybody who's ever had a conversation with you around buying or selling real estate. If you're not looking at this every single day, you're making it astronomically harder on yourselves to convert, because every day when we're doing the business, we don't know the people that we should be talking to, right? So we need to be looking at this every single day. One of the 2 exercises that a lot of my coaching clients do every single day, and if I do coach you and you're not doing this, you 100% should start right now, is that they should look at the inventory every single day, and they should look at their list of prospects every single day. When you look at this every single day, a couple things happen. Number one, you start to say, oh, I keep seeing this guy or this gal on my list every day, and they're not responding to emails, they're not responding to texts, they're not responding to phone calls. Maybe I should take them off the prospect list and move them over to the subscriber list. The second thing is less is going to fall off the list. And what I mean by that is that we've all had that experience or that time when we're driving through the neighborhood and we drive through a home we know, and all of a sudden there's a for sale sign in front of it with another agent and another company. And we call the client and say, hey, I saw you put your home for sale. And they say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to call you. I'm so sorry. And you're like, what do you mean? I've been sending you emails and phone calls, and I even sent you a gift basket and all this stuff. And in reality, the person or the real estate agent that they remember in the moment, in the modality they're in, when they're making a decision to buy or sell real estate, is normally who gets the deal. So follow-up, if anything else, aggressive, high cadence follow-up is mainly to get you in front of them so that when it does come time for them to make a decision, they've heard from you so many times that you are the only perceived choice. Manual follow-up is tough. As a bonus part of this video, you might ask, like, well, how many follow-ups should I do a day? If you did 40 every single day, 5 days a week for the entire year, it would change your entire life. I'll give that to you again. 40 follow-ups every day, 5 days a week, every week of the year, minus when you go on vacation, all that fun stuff. Not 3 days a week, not 2 days a week, not 1 day a week, but 5 days a week, every week you're working, first thing you do in the morning. If you did that for an entire year, it would change your life. 2 things would happen. Number one, you do more deals because follow-up works. Number 2, if you commit to 40 follow-ups a day and you run out of leads, it forces you to spend more money in advertising to get more leads, so it keeps the entire machine going. It's kind of like just a daily tracker thing, right? When you have a number that you're focused on and you do it every single day. Sometimes we don't know the benefit of doing that on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, but you will figure that out on day 30. You will see exactly where the holes are, what you should be saying, what you should be saying, shouldn't be saying, and what you need to change based on all of that. In another video, I will show you how to build a Notion operating system or database or something that you can track your daily performance based on the technology that you're using right now. Only thing you would need to add is a Zapier account and maybe a $15 Notion account. It's really easy, really simple. That pulls in all of the data that you're doing, dashboards it, and gives you a lot of confidence around how you're following up and the things you should be doing. All right, I told you there was going to be a bonus. Let's get into that bonus. When you use text and email, I want you to think about texting and email as a trigger to get on the phone. Here's what I mean by that. You can send a text that said, hey, it's Steve Olson. Thanks for inquiring on our Facebook post. Are you looking to buy a home? And some people would respond to that, right? But we don't want to do that. What we want to say is, hey, it's Steve Olson. I'm the agent behind the Facebook post you just commented on. I'm going to call you in about an hour. Will you be around? Right? So we're not saying, can you talk? I'm telling you, I'm going to reach out. You and I are going to have a conversation in an hour. Will you be around? So one of 2 things is going to happen. They're going to say, no, I'm not going to be around. Or they're going to say, yeah, no problem. I'm going to be around. Or they're going to say, don't call me at all. I'm just looking. Any one of those answers is okay. Any one of those answers is okay. When we do an email's a very simple script. Hey, I just sent you a text. Maybe it might be easier over email. I'll be around my office here in about an hour and a half. I will call you then. Will you be available? Right? So we're using email and phone to be the leading indicator into the phone call. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, like, what happens if they want to do the entire conversation over SMS? Then stay there. Leave the entire conversation over SMS. When it comes time to do the appointment, this is really important. You have to get on the phone at least once before the appointment. they need to experience who you are at least once before the appointment. The reason why that's so important is if you don't get on the phone with them before the appointment, what I know is going to happen is they're not going to show up or they're going to reschedule. You need an emotional connection with somebody. And let's not forget, there's a safety component to this as well. So somebody who is very vague in what they want, who is not willing to hop on a call, who is not willing to do anything formally, who is not willing to meet, is probably not a client you want to work with, right? This is a big reason why, number one, I would never recommend showing homes to somebody you've never at least spoken on the phone or met with before. It's just a crazy safety thing. I know some of you guys are thinking like, well, I used the first appointment to kind of feel them out. And look, you could do that, but if you go on enough appointments, eventually you're going to run into a safety issue, right? Remember, legitimate, qualified, ready to buy clients are always open to the process. They will follow your process. They will have communication. And for the most part, they're pretty clear on what they need, meaning I need this type of home that's worth this much money, that's this size and this city, right? They're not, I don't know, send me everything. Yeah, just send me everything. That is not a qualified buyer. I have no idea. Send me everything that's, in these 7 cities. We really haven't made a decision yet, but let me see what you have access to, because they believe that the more access to data they have, the easier it is to make a decision. What you've probably figured out in your career that we've figured out in our career is that's not always the case. Good buyers have specifics. People that are never going to buy or sell are very vague. That's a very easy thing that you should do. Use email and phone as a trigger to use email and text message as a trigger to the phone, and it'll get a lot easier. You can stay on SMS the entire time, but before we go to that appointment, there needs to be some contextual understanding over who you're meeting with, why you're meeting with, and what the outcome of that meeting is before. So this is the how to 4x your follow-up in the next 30 days. Number 1, increase the number of times you follow up. Number 2, do all follow-up manually. Number 3, use video for unique follow-up. And as a bonus, use texting and email as a precursor to get them on the phone. I think what you're going to find is more people will have more conversations. It will get easier, and you'll close more deals in 2025.